The great hall of the Galactic Council was silent. Tall alien leaders sat in a wide circle, each one representing a powerful species from across the galaxy. The room was filled with soft glowing lights, and a giant holographic screen floated in the center. This was a place where decisions shaped the fate of entire star systems. And today, something was wrong. A sudden alarm broke the silence. A sharp, cold sound echoed across the chamber. Every leader turned toward the central screen. A message had arrived. Emergency signal from the outer colonies, a robotic voice announced. The screen flickered to life. What they saw made even the strongest leaders feel uneasy. Entire planets were burning. Massive cities were destroyed. Ships, thousands of them, were being torn apart in space. The enemy fleet moved like a dark storm, swallowing everything in its path. "They've reached another system," one alien whispered. "They are moving faster than expected," another said. This enemy was not new. For months, the galaxy had been fighting this unknown force. No one knew where they came from. No one knew how to stop them. Many powerful species had already sent their best fleets, and all of them had failed. The Council had never seen anything like this before. One of the oldest members spoke slowly. "If this continues, the galaxy will fall." Silence filled the room again. Then, something changed. A new signal appeared on the screen. "Unidentified fleet detected," the system announced. All eyes focused on the display. A group of ships had just entered the battlefield. They came out of hyperspace, suddenly, without warning. But something about them felt strange. The ships did not look like advanced alien designs. They were not smooth, not elegant, not glowing with strange energy. Instead, they looked heavy, rough, built like machines of war. Sharp edges, thick armor, visible weapons. "They look primitive," one council member said. Another narrowed their eyes. "Who are they?" The system paused for a moment. Then it answered, "Origin, planet Earth." A wave of confusion spread across the chamber. "Earth," someone repeated. "Humans," another said. A few leaders let out quiet laughs. "Impossible. Humans are new to space travel. They are weak. They rely on emotions. They are not warriors." The room filled with low murmurs. Most of them did not take this seriously. To them, humans were nothing special, just another young species trying to survive. But then, the human fleet moved. Without waiting, without asking, without fear, they charged directly toward the enemy. The entire council went silent again. "What are they doing?" someone asked. "They will be destroyed," another said calmly. The enemy fleet noticed them. Huge ships turned slowly, aiming their weapons. Energy beams fired across space. Bright explosions filled the darkness. For a moment, it looked like the humans would disappear. But they didn't. The human ships kept moving. Fast, aggressive. They dodged attacks in ways that felt almost reckless. They flew closer and closer. Then, they fired back. Missiles launched in waves. Hundreds of them. Explosions lit up the battlefield. Enemy ships began to break apart. The council leaned forward, watching closely now. The humans did not stop. They pushed deeper into the enemy formation, breaking lines, creating chaos. "They are not fighting like us," one leader whispered. "No, they are doing something different," another replied. Human ships moved in small groups, working together, covering each other, taking risks that no other species would take. One ship flew directly toward a massive enemy cruiser. Too close, too dangerous. Everyone in the council expected it to die, but instead, it released a powerful blast at point-blank range. The enemy ship exploded. A shock wave spread across space. The chamber fell into complete silence. No one spoke. No one moved. More enemy ships began to fall, one after another. The Dark Fleet was slowing down. For the first time in months, it was being pushed back. "This is not possible," a council elder said quietly. "They should be losing." "But they are winning," another replied. The screen showed the human fleet pressing forward, relentless, fearless, unstoppable. Even when some of their ships were destroyed, the others did not retreat. They kept fighting, harder, stronger, like they refused to accept defeat. One of the youngest council members spoke in a low voice. "What kind of species fights like this?" No one answered, because no one knew. The battle continued. Explosions filled the screen. The enemy fleet began to pull back, slowly at first, then faster. They were retreating. The council stared in disbelief. The unstoppable enemy was running away, and the humans were chasing them. The screen zoomed in on one human ship. It was damaged, burning, but still moving forward, still fighting, still refusing to stop. The chamber felt different now. The laughter from before was gone, replaced by silence, heavy silence. One of the most powerful leaders finally spoke. "This is a human army?" No one answered, because now they were not laughing anymore. They were afraid. The Galactic Council chamber was no longer calm. The silence from before had turned into tension. Every leader was watching the screen carefully now. The human fleet was still there, still fighting, still winning. But no one in the chamber wanted to accept it. "This is temporary," one general said firmly. "They got lucky." "Yes," another agreed quickly. "The enemy was not ready. They will recover and destroy the humans." Many heads nodded. It was easy to believe this, easier than accepting the truth, because if the humans were really this strong, then everything the galaxy believed was wrong. The screen shifted. A closer view of the battlefield appeared. The enemy fleet was regrouping. Their massive ships moved into formation again. Dark, cold, controlled. They were not weak. They were learning. "They're adapting," one council scientist said, "and fast." Everyone knew what that meant. The next attack would be worse. Much worse. The humans should not survive it. They should retreat, someone said. "But they are not," another replied. The human fleet held its position. Damaged ships floated in space. Some were destroyed completely, but the remaining ships stayed together. No panic, no confusion, just waiting. "What are they doing now?" a leader asked. Before anyone could answer, the enemy attacked again. This time, it was different. Hundreds of energy beams fired at once. Faster, stronger, more precise. The battlefield lit up like a storm of fire. Explosions hit the human fleet. Several ships were destroyed instantly. The council leaned forward. "This is it," one general whispered. "They cannot survive this." But then, the human fleet moved again, and what they did made the entire chamber freeze. Instead of pulling back, they moved forward, directly into the attack. "That's madness," someone shouted. "They're flying into their own destruction." But it wasn't madness. It was a plan. Human ships split into small groups. Each group moved in a different direction. Fast, unpredictable. They did not follow clean lines like other species. They moved like chaos itself. Enemy targeting systems struggled to lock onto them. Shots began to miss. Collisions happened between enemy ships. The formation broke. "They are confusing them," a scientist said in shock. "No, they are controlling the battle," another replied. "The humans use the enemy's strength against them." Every time the enemy tried to regroup, the humans attacked from a new angle. Every time the enemy focused on one group, another group struck from behind. It was not clean, not perfect, but it worked, and it worked well. One human ship, already damaged, flew straight through heavy fire. Its engines were failing. Its hull was breaking apart. Everyone expected it to stop, but it didn't. It kept going. "What is it doing?" a council member asked. The ship reached the center of the enemy formation. Then it exploded. A massive blast shook the battlefield. Several enemy ships were destroyed instantly. The shock wave broke their entire formation. The chamber went silent again. "They sacrificed themselves," someone whispered. For position, another said slowly. The idea felt strange to many species. Most alien armies avoided losses at all cost. But humans, they used loss as a weapon. The battle continued. The enemy fleet was now disorganized, weaker, slower, and the humans did not waste a chance. They attacked harder, faster, with even more force. They are increasing pressure, a general said. They don't want the enemy to recover. The council watched as the human fleet pushed forward again, step by step, fight by fight. They did not stop, even when they lost ships, even when the situation looked bad. They kept going, relentless. This is not luck, one of the oldest leaders said quietly. All eyes turned toward him. His voice was calm, but serious. This is strategy. The room fell silent, because deep down, everyone knew he was right. The humans were not weak. They were not lucky. They were skilled, dangerously skilled. Another report appeared on the screen. Enemy fleet retreating. The words echoed in the chamber. Again, for the second time, the unstoppable enemy was falling back. The human fleet followed them, not slowly, not carefully, but aggressively. They are chasing them, someone said in disbelief. They should be defending, not attacking. But the humans did not think the same way. They saw an opening, and they took it without hesitation. The screen showed the enemy ships trying to escape, but the humans stayed close, cutting off their paths, destroying ships one by one, like hunters. The council chamber felt colder now, different. No one was laughing anymore. No one was doubting openly. But the fear, it was starting to grow. If they can do this to that enemy, a leader said slowly, what can they do to us? No one answered, because no one wanted to think about it. The screen zoomed in again. A human command ship appeared, larger than the others, still damaged, but still leading. Inside, a human commander stood calmly, watching the battle. No fear, no panic, just focus. A voice transmission was intercepted. The council listened carefully. The human commander spoke in a steady tone. Keep pushing. Don't give them time to think. Simple words, but full of meaning. The humans were not just fighting. They were controlling the war. The enemy made one last attempt to regroup. Their largest ships turned to face the humans again. Weapons charged. Energy built up. A final attack. The council held their breath. But before the enemy could fire, the humans struck first. A coordinated attack. Precise, fast, brutal. The enemy formation broke completely. Ships scattered in all directions. The retreat turned into a full escape. They're running, someone whispered. The words felt unreal. For months, this enemy had destroyed everything. Now, they were running because of humans. The screen slowly dimmed as the battle moved further away. The human fleet continued forward, still chasing, still fighting, still refusing to stop. The council chamber remained silent. Heavy silence. No one could deny it anymore. One leader finally spoke, his voice low and uncertain. Who are these humans? This time, no one had an answer. The Galactic Council chamber was quiet again. But this silence was not the same as before. Before it was filled with pride. Now it was filled with doubt. Every leader kept their eyes on the screen. The human fleet was still moving forward, still chasing the enemy, still fighting like nothing could stop them. This should not be happening. One council member said softly, "They are too new, too young." "Yes," another replied. "Their species has not even been in space for long. But they fight like they have done this for centuries." That thought stayed in the air, heavy, unanswered. The council needed answers, and they needed them now. "Begin full data scan on humans," the high speaker ordered. "Everything we have. History, biology, military records." The system activated. Information began to flow across the holographic screen. At first, it looked simple, basic, a small blue planet called Earth. One star system, nothing special. But then, more data appeared, and the story began to change. Planet classification, death world, the system announced. The chamber reacted instantly. "A death world," someone repeated. "That is not possible." Death worlds were rare. Extremely dangerous planets where life struggled to survive. High gravity, unstable weather, violent ecosystems. Most intelligent species did not come from such places. They couldn't, but humans did. The screen showed images of Earth, massive oceans, burning deserts, frozen lands, violent storms, Volcanoes. Earthquakes. This is their home? One leader asked. The system continued. Native life forms. Highly aggressive. Constant competition for survival. Images changed again. Predators hunting prey. Creatures fighting each other. Animals with sharp teeth. Claws. Strength. This planet is trying to kill them, a scientist whispered. Yes, another replied slowly. And they survived anyway. More data appeared. Human history. Wars. Endless wars. Ancient battles. Modern conflicts. Weapons evolving over time. From simple tools to powerful machines. They fight each other? Someone asked. Constantly, the system replied. The chamber fell silent. Many species avoided war at all cost. They saw it as failure. But humans, they learned from it. They grew stronger because of it. A new image appeared. Human soldiers training, running in harsh environments, climbing mountains, fighting in deserts, enduring extreme cold. They train in this? A council member said in disbelief. This is normal for them, the system replied. The realization hit slowly. Humans were not peaceful by nature. They were survivors, built by a world that never gave them an easy life. The screen changed again. Now it showed the current battlefield. The human fleet, still fighting, still chasing. Cross-reference combat behavior. The high speaker ordered. The system analyzed quickly. Then it responded. Human tactics, adaptive, aggressive, unpredictable. Probability of retreat, extremely low. Response loss, increased combat intensity. The chamber went completely still. Increase intensity? Someone repeated. Yes, the system confirmed. When humans lose, they fight harder. That idea felt wrong. Most species became weaker after losses. Fear would grow. Morale would break. But humans, they became more dangerous. The screen zoomed in on a human ship again. Inside, the crew moved quickly, focused. No panic. Even though alarms were active, even though damage was visible, they worked together, like they had done this many times before. They are not afraid, one leader said. No, another replied. They feel fear, but they do not stop because of it. That was something new, something different. The council had never seen a species like this. The high speaker leaned forward. Show command structure. The screen shifted again. The human command ship appeared. Inside, the human commander stood in the center, calm, watching everything, giving orders. Not loud, not emotional, just clear, simple. A voice transmission was captured again. Hold formation. Trust each other. Short words, but strong. The crew responded instantly. No hesitation. They trust each other completely, a council member observed. Yes, another said. That is why they can fight like this. Trust. It was a simple thing. But in war, it changed everything. The screen displayed more data. Human psychology, strong group bonding, high loyalty, willingness to sacrifice for others. The chamber felt colder. They are willing to die for each other, someone asked quietly. Yes, the system replied. That was the key. That was the difference. Humans did not fight alone. They fought as one, a connected force. Each unit supporting the other. Each soldier ready to give everything. The council finally began to understand. This is why they are winning. The high speaker said slowly. They are not stronger. They are not more advanced. But they are united. The words echoed across the chamber, and no one argued. Because now, it made sense. The screen showed the battlefield again. The enemy fleet was far ahead now, trying to escape. But the humans were still following, still pushing, still refusing to stop. They don't give up, one leader said. No, another replied. They don't even think about giving up. The council sat in silence, watching, learning, realizing the truth. Humans were not weak. They were not simple. They were something else, something the galaxy had never seen before, a species shaped by struggle, strengthened by pain, driven by something deeper than logic, something dangerous. The high speaker spoke one final time. His voice was low, Serious, almost uneasy. We were wrong about them. No one disagreed, because now they had seen the truth, and the truth was clear. Humans were not just another species. They were survivors, warriors, and maybe something more. The battlefield had gone quiet, not silent, but heavy, like something big was about to happen. The human fleet had stopped chasing. They now held position at the edge of a broken star system. Wreckage floated everywhere. Destroyed ships, burning metal, cold remains of war. The enemy had retreated, but not completely. They are gathering again, a council observer said. The holographic screen zoomed out. Far in the distance, dark shapes appeared. At first, they looked small, but then more appeared, and more, until the entire screen was filled. A massive fleet, larger than anything seen before. The chamber felt colder. That is their main force, a general whispered. No, another said slowly. That is not a fleet. That is an army. The enemy had been holding back, waiting, preparing, and now they were ready to end this. The human fleet looked small in comparison. Damaged ships, reduced numbers, tired. This is where it ends, one council member said quietly. They cannot win this. Even those who respected humans now felt doubt again. The difference in power was too big, too clear, too real. The high speaker leaned forward. Watch carefully, he said. The enemy fleet moved first, slow at the start, then faster, like a dark wave spreading across space. Weapons charged, energy gathered. The entire system began to glow with dangerous light. The humans did not move. Not yet. They are waiting, someone said. For what? Another asked. No one knew. The tension grew, second by second. Then the enemy fired. A storm of energy exploded across space. Beams, missiles, waves of destruction. Everything aimed at the human fleet. The council held their breath. This is it. But at the last second, the human fleet split. Not randomly, not in panic, but perfectly timed. Ships moved in different directions, dodging the attack. Some were hit, some were destroyed, but most survived. And then the humans did something unexpected again. They did not run. They did not defend. They attacked directly into the heart of the enemy force. That's suicide, someone shouted. They cannot break that formation. But the humans didn't try to break it. They went through it. Fast, aggressive, focused. Small groups of ships targeted specific points. Weak points, communication nodes, weapon systems. They were not trying to destroy everything. They were trying to damage the system. To slow them down, a council scientist said in shock. Yes, another replied. They are buying time. But time for what? The answer came quickly. A signal appeared. Hidden before, now active, behind the battlefield. More human ships, reinforcements. They were waiting, someone whispered. They planned this. The new fleet jumped into battle, right behind the enemy. The Dark Army was now trapped, front and back. The council could not believe what they were seeing. They turned the trap against them, the high speaker said quietly. The battle exploded again, even bigger than before. Human ships attacked from both sides. Relentless, coordinated. The enemy tried to regroup, but it was too late. Their formation was broken. Their control was slipping. Still, they were powerful, very powerful. They fought back with full force. Human ships were destroyed, one after another. Explosions filled the screen. Losses increased. Fast. They are losing too many ships, a general said. They cannot keep this up. But then, something changed again. The human command ship moved forward, closer to the center of the battle. Too close. Dangerously close. What is it doing? Someone asked. Inside the ship, the commander stood calmly, watching everything, calculating. Then he gave one order. All units, push forward. No hesitation. No fear. Every human ship responded. They moved together, like one force, straight into the strongest part of the enemy. This is madness, a council member whispered. No, The high speaker said slowly. This is decision. The humans were not trying to survive anymore. They were trying to end it. The battle reached its peak. Energy blasts lit up the system. Ships collided. Explosions shook space itself. And in the middle of it, the human fleet kept pushing, even when damaged, even when outnumbered, even when losing ships. They did not stop. They refused to break, someone said. Yes, another replied. They don't know how to break. Then the moment came. A massive enemy command ship appeared, larger than all others, the center of control, the heart of the enemy army. If that ship falls, a scientist said, the entire fleet will collapse. The human commander saw it too. He gave one final order. Target that ship. Every available unit turned toward it. All weapons locked. All power focused. The enemy realized the danger. They moved to protect it. But it was too late. The humans were already there. They pushed through defenses, through fire, through destruction. Closer, closer. Then they fired everything. A single massive attack. The screen turned white. The explosion was enormous. For a moment, no one could see anything. The council sat in complete silence, waiting, hoping, fearing. Then the light faded. The battlefield became visible again. The massive enemy ship was gone, destroyed. A shock wave moved across the enemy fleet. Their formation broke. Their movement slowed. Confusion spread. They lost control, someone whispered. Yes, the high speaker said. They lost the war. The enemy ships began to retreat, not organized, not controlled, just escaping. The unstoppable army was falling apart, and the humans, even with heavy losses, were still standing, still moving, still fighting. The council chamber was silent once again, but now it was not doubt, it was realization. One leader spoke in a low voice. They didn't just survive, they won. No one disagreed, because now it was clear the turning point had come, and humanity had changed the war forever. The battlefield slowly grew quiet, not completely silent, but calm compared to the chaos before. Broken ships drifted through space. Fires still burned on damaged hulls. Small explosions echoed in the distance. The enemy fleet was gone, not destroyed fully but defeated. They had run. For the first time, they had been forced to run. And the ones who made it happen were humans. The Galactic Council chamber was still. No one moved. No one spoke. They just watched. The human fleet remained in the system, but it was no longer the same. Many ships were missing. Many were damaged. Some barely stayed together. Yet they were still there, still standing, still alive. They'd paid a heavy price, one council member said quietly. Yes, another replied, but they did not fall. That mattered more than anything else. The screen zoomed in slowly. A human ship drifted past. Its surface was burned. Its weapons were damaged, but its engine still worked. It was still moving, still part of the fleet. They should be retreating now, a general said. They have won. There is no need to stay. But the humans did not leave. Instead, they began to organize. Ships moved into position. Small groups formed. Rescue units spread across the battlefield. What are they doing? Someone asked. The answer came quickly. They are searching for survivors. The council watched closely. Human ships moved toward damaged vessels. Not just their own, but others too. Alien ships. Destroyed fleets from previous battles. They are helping everyone, a leader said in disbelief. Yes, the system confirmed. The humans were not only warriors, they were rescuers. Even after such a battle, even after so much loss, they still chose to help. That was something new, something unexpected. A transmission signal appeared. Incoming message from human fleet, the system announced. The entire chamber focused instantly. This is their first contact, someone whispered. Put on screen, the high speaker ordered. The image appeared. A human stood in front of them, the same commander from before. His uniform was damaged, his face tired, but his eyes were steady, calm, strong. No fear, No pride, just quiet control. He looked directly at the council. For a moment, no one spoke. Then the human commander spoke first. His voice was simple, clear. We have secured the system. No long speech, no celebration, just facts. The council remained silent, not because they didn't understand, but because they didn't know what to say. Finally, one of the senior leaders stood. His voice, once proud, now carried something else. Respect. You have done what none of us could, he said slowly. You have stopped them. The human commander listened, but his expression did not change. We did what was needed, he replied. Simple, direct. The council members exchanged looks. This was not what they expected. No pride, no demand for recognition, just duty. Another leader spoke. We misjudged your species, they admitted. We believed humans were weak. A pause filled the room. The human commander did not react. He did not look angry. He did not look proud. He simply answered. Many do. The honesty in his voice felt heavy, because it was true. The galaxy had ignored humans, laughed at them, doubted them, and now they stood here as the ones who had done the impossible. The high speaker slowly stood. All eyes turned toward him. He looked at the human commander with deep focus. Today, he said, you have not only saved lives, you have changed how the galaxy sees you. The human remained silent, listening. The high speaker continued. You fought with strength. You fought with intelligence. But more than that, you fought with unity. The word echoed. Unity. That was what made humans different. The council finally understood it. The human commander gave a small nod. We don't fight alone, he said. That simple sentence carried deep meaning, because it was true. Humans trusted each other. They stood together, and that made them strong, very strong. Another council member stepped forward. Their voice was softer now. We saw your losses. We saw your sacrifices. Why continue when the cost was so high? The chamber went quiet again, waiting for the answer. The human commander looked at the screen for a moment. Then he spoke, because stopping them mattered more. No long explanation, no dramatic words, just truth. The council felt it, deep inside. This was not just a warrior species. This was something else, something rare, a species that would fight not just to win, but to protect. The high speaker took a slow breath. Then he said the words that no one expected to hear. The Galactic Council thanks you. The entire chamber remained silent. But this silence was different. It was not fear, not doubt. It was respect, real respect. The human commander nodded once more. Then he said, we will remain here until we are sure the threat is gone. Still thinking of others, still focused on the mission. Even after everything, the transmission ended. The screen faded. The council chamber remained still. No one moved for a long moment. Then, one leader spoke softly. They are not what we thought. No, another replied. They are much more. The high speaker looked around the chamber, at every leader, every species, and he said quietly, we must never underestimate them again. No one argued, because now they all knew the truth. Humans were not weak. They were not simple. They were something the galaxy had never truly seen before. Warriors, protectors, and now, respected. The galaxy did not feel the same anymore. Something had changed, not in the stars, not in the systems, but in the minds of those who watched. The Galactic Council chamber was no longer filled with doubt. Now it carried something new, respect. The great leaders of many worlds sat in silence, but this silence was calm, thoughtful. They had seen something rare, something powerful, something they could not ignore. On the central screen, the human fleet was still visible. They had not left the battlefield, even after victory, even after loss. They remained, working, repairing, helping. Ships moved slowly through the broken remains of war. Rescue teams continued their search. Signals were sent across the system, calling for survivors, offering help. They are still there, one leader said quietly. Yes, another replied. They are making sure no one is left behind. That idea felt strange. Most species would leave after victory. They would protect what remained of their strength. But humans stayed, even when it was not required, even when it was dangerous, because to them, it mattered. The high speaker stood once more. His voice was calm, but filled with meaning. "We have judged them for too long," he said, "and we were wrong." No one argued, because everyone now agreed. The council had seen the truth with their own eyes. Humans were not weak. They were not careless. They were not primitive. They were something else entirely, a species shaped by struggle, driven by purpose, bound by trust. The high speaker continued, "It is time we change our decision." The chamber grew still. Everyone listened closely. The human species should be invited to join the Galactic Council. The words echoed across the hall. For a moment, no one spoke, because this was not a small decision. This was history. A new species, joining the most powerful group in the galaxy. A species that had once been ignored, now being honored. Slowly, one by one, the leaders began to agree. Yes, they have earned it. They proved themselves. The decision was clear, unanimous. Humanity would no longer stand outside the galaxy's future. They would stand at its center. The message was prepared, sent to the human fleet. Moments passed. Then, a response arrived. The screen lit up again. The human commander appeared once more. Still calm, still focused. The high speaker spoke directly to him. "On behalf of the Galactic Council, we offer your species a place among us." A pause filled the moment. The entire chamber watched, waiting. The human commander listened carefully. Then he replied, "We appreciate the offer." His voice remained steady. But then he added something unexpected. "But we are not finished yet." The council looked at each other, confused. "Explain," the high speaker said. The human commander turned slightly. Behind him, the damaged fleet could be seen. Still working, still moving, still active. "The enemy we fought," he said, "was only part of something bigger." The room grew quiet again. "What do you mean?" a leader asked. The human commander looked back at them, his eyes serious now. They were not alone. The words hit hard, deep, heavy. The council felt the weight of it instantly. "There is more," someone whispered. "Yes," the human replied. "A larger force. Still out there." The screen changed. Data appeared, captured signals, unknown coordinates, strange movements in deep space. The humans had already found it, or at least they had seen enough to know. "This war is not over," the human commander said. The chamber felt cold again, but this time it was not fear alone. It was something else. Awareness, understanding. The high speaker stepped forward. "What will you do?" he asked. The human commander answered without hesitation. "We will prepare." Simple, clear, just like before. The council members looked at each other. This was the moment. The galaxy could choose to act, or wait. But one thing was certain now. They could not face this alone. The high speaker nodded slowly. "Then we stand with you." The words were strong, final, and for the first time, the galaxy was united, not by power, not by fear, but by respect. The screen faded. The human fleet remained in the distance, small against the endless space. But no one saw them as small anymore. They were something greater now, something important, a symbol of strength, of unity, of survival, far beyond the battlefield, deep in the darkness of space. Something moved, a shadow, large, silent, watching, waiting. The next threat had already begun. But this time, the galaxy was not unprepared, because now they had humanity. The final message spread across every system, every planet, every species. A simple truth, clear and powerful. Never underestimate humans. And as the stars continued to shine, one thing became certain. When the galaxy needed warriors, humanity would answer.